Rigathi Gachagua, Kenyan's second deputy president turned political rebel in the eyes of some, has just cut his high-profile tour in the United States short. But the real story, ladies and gentlemen, is not in his briefcase, but it is in this very post that he posted on his social media, ladies and gentlemen. And I will read through the post, ladies and gentlemen. I had a very successful, fulfilling visit to the United States of America with serious engagements with Kenyans in diaspora. I regret being unable to visit scheduled remaining states since I need to get back home to join our party TCP party in preparation for the upcoming by-elections in various parts of our country. I am sorry to cut my trip short. My profound apologies to the organizers and the Kenyans whom I were to meet. The same has been rescheduled for early next year. Ladies and gentlemen, I have taken a few days to rest before heading home, and as promised, my itinerary will be made public. I thank the Kenyans in the States for the loving warmth and the hospitality they accorded us. I salute the organizers and the official of the DCP chapter for super planning, organization, and meticulous coordination. You are simply the best. God bless you all, and God bless Kenya. Now, that was the post that he posted on his social media. But a few hours later, the deputy party leader, Cleophas Malala, called a media briefing, and he announced the exact time, date in the terminus that Rigathi Gachagua's plane will land. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, we unpack the very reasons why Rigathi Gachagua was forced to cut short his United States high-profile tour and announce his coming back home. But just before we dive into this video, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite you to subscribe to this channel. Take 1 second or two, hit the subscription button, smash that notification bell, and also press the like button on this video. By doing like that, ladies and gentlemen, you help me to reach a wider audience, and also you help YouTube to be able to notify you whenever we upload such a video. And thank you so much for those who have already subscribed to the channel. Without you guys, this channel could not be where it is right now.
It is with pride that we announce the return of our party leader, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, following a highly successful official tour of the United States of America. I am pleased to announce to the country that his plane will land at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on Thursday, 21st August 2025 at exactly 12 noon. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and Interior Minister Kipchumba Murkomen have shamelessly issued public threats to arrest His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua upon his arrival. Intelligence reaching us points to a scheme so evil, so cowardly, that it chills the soul. Their intent is to subject our party leader to slow and silent assassination by poisoning, the very same cruel method once inflicted on the late Kenneth Matiba while in state custody. This is not hearsay. It is a deliberate plot to silence the voice of the people of Kenya by physically destroying its leadership. Their plan upon our party leader's arrival at JKIA is to abduct, intimidate, brutalize, and eventually place him under house arrest, cut him off from his supporters, and deny him the right to address the nation. They want to kill his voice and his body at the same time. But let this be crystal clear. If they dare lay a hand on him, the country will grind to a halt. They did this during his impeachment. He responded by asking his supporters to stand down and protest by singing melodies. But this time round, let the plotters know that the song is different. The rhythm is tougher, and we will turn into a cacophony of defiance. There comes a time when enough has to be enough, and that time is now. Honorable Nelson Koech, the chairperson of the National Assembly Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee, has revealed another calculated provocation, a plan to divert His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's flights to Mombasa or Kisumu International Airports so that they deny him an opportunity to give a much anticipated address to the nation. This disruptive plan by a paranoid regime will not only disrupt the travel plans of innocent passengers, but also risk damaging Kenya's foreign relations. Our message is simple. We will not be intimidated. If they divert the plane, our supporters in Kisumu and Mombasa will turn those airports into oceans of DCP colors and defiance.
Now, according to me, ladies and gentlemen, the main reasons, there are only 3 reasons why Rigathi Gachagua had to cut short his trip in the United States and come back home. And the first and very most important reason, ladies and gentlemen, is the upcoming by-elections, and more especially the by-election in Mbeere North. Ladies and gentlemen, when Geoffrey Ruku was appointed to the position of Public Service Minister after Moses Kuria retired, a vacancy was left in Mbeere. And Rigathi Gachagua is about to test his political muscle with William Ruto's UDA in that by-election. This by-election, ladies and gentlemen, is very much important to Rigathi Gachagua and the TCP party, because if they win this, ladies and gentlemen, they are going to stamp their authority. But if they lose this, ladies and gentlemen, this will portray a very negative image for Rigathi Gachagua and the entire TCP. And that's why Rigathi Gachagua was forced to cut his trip short in the United States and rush home to be able to prepare his candidates and engage in campaign. And I guess, ladies and gentlemen, immediately his foot touches at the JKIA, he will have a short media briefing and, of course, address the people of the country, the people of Kenya at JKIA, and then he will be headed to Mbeere, ladies and gentlemen, to address the people. The second reason, ladies and gentlemen, why he cut his short trip is about the threats by Morokomen and the Deputy President Kindiki of arresting him and forcefully forcing him to record a statement following his inflammatory remarks in the United States that William Samoei Ruto and the government of Kenya is working with the terrorists in Sudan and also the RSF, and also is also working with Al-Shabaab leaders. So Rigathi Gachagua is coming home, one, to test his political muscle with that of the government. He wants to know how far can the government go on him. Ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua wants to test his political muscle against that one of William Samoei Ruto and his government. Now here is where it will go missing. If the government dares to go after Rigathi Gachagua is going to be branded as a political martyr, and William Samoei Ruto is going to be branded as a person who is about to intimidate the opposition and suppress the voice of the people of Kenya. Another reason why he's coming immediately, ladies and gentlemen, is because of political scores. Rigathi Gachagua is about to actually milk a very good political score from this homecoming. Remember, they have announced that their supporters should be at JKIA starting 6 a.m. in the morning, just singing and dancing as they wait for his arrival at 2 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, This is going to create a scene at the JKIA, a scene that will accord, if it will be successful, if the government will not intervene, if the government will not stop it, it is going to be very successfully, it is going to successfully award Rigathi Gachagua a very huge political score in this country. And it's coming to touch down, ladies and gentlemen, if the government is going to divert his plane as they have pledged, then this also will still give him a political score, ladies and gentlemen, whether they divert to Kisumu or whether they divert to Mombasa. But also remember, in that plane, it is not only carrying Rigathi Gachagua. That plane is also carrying other passengers who are traveling all the way from the United States coming to Kenya. They may be Kenyans, and inside also there might be passengers of other nationalities. And if the government dares to divert this plane to either Kisumu or Mombasa, this will have inconvenienced those guests in those planes. And this will have a bad reputation to Kenya, to the international platform, ladies and gentlemen. So Rigathi Gachagua's coming is not just for nothing. It is for those three reasons. Number one, the by-elections and preparation and the stamping of his authority in Mbere. Number two, ladies and gentlemen, to test his political muscle and to see how far the government can go on him. And number three also is to gain political scores, depending on how William Ruto and his government will behave. But if they are intelligent very much, the government will allow Rigathi Gachagua to land. But what they are going to do, and which I'm sure, is that they are going to prevent people from entering the JKIA. The crowd may just wait for Rigathi Gachagua outside JKIA. That's the way it used to happen with Raila Amolo Odinga, ladies and gentlemen. That is the same thing that's going to happen as Rigathi Gachagua is coming back to Kenya. So when Gachagua steps out of that plane at JKIA, ladies and gentlemen, it will never be a homecoming again. It will be a battle to test the political mass of Rigathi Gachagua against that of the government, and also to see how willing the government, how far the government is willing to go. And it will also be a reminder to Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen, that perhaps the most dangerous journey is that one of coming back home in Kenya. In your own words, ladies and gentlemen, in your own view, let me see in the comment section, what do you think? Is the government going to divert the plane? Is the government going to arrest Gachagua? Or they are going to allow the people to enter JKIA and wait for their leader? Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. And ladies and gentlemen, remind you to subscribe to this channel if you are yet to help us reach a wider audience. Until next time, this is Siasa 254.